Right? As most of you know, I'm quite an emotional person, so rather than freestyling today, I've prepared a few lines, which, having snorted them, I feel absolutely fine. Well, good evening to everyone, and a huge thank you for creating such pure perfection on our special day. Simply by attending with such love and support in abundance, we are both very touched and honoured to have you all with us to mark such a special occasion in our lifetime. On behalf of my breathtakingly beautiful wife and I've created this speech to portray our deep and limitless love for our family and friends that have gone to such extraordinary lengths to make today a reality for us. Now, if you can ensure your glass is charged and your strong hand is prepared for many a toast, then Peter, our fantastic Master of Ceremonies, has had to ensure us this year. And join me as I praise the special people in our life and this room today, and those who are not here today. On behalf of myself, and in particular my sensationally beautiful bride, I've provided such wonderful support and most importantly the priceless memories from the Hindu. With Gemma, thoroughly enjoyed. May I say you all look incredible. How are you bridesmaids here today?
Thank you.
And I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful for all you have done and everything you are to Gemma and I. And for God's sake, Heather, Mari and Laura, if you dare let Alice catch Gemma's bouquet. No, I'm not joking.
Maybe.
Later, your bridesmaid status will be swiftly revoked and you shall be asked to leave. Any of my best men contemplating dancing with my sister will also be asked to leave via the fucking window. Can I raise a toast to my bridesmaids? Equally as important to the success of this day is my groom's party and my best men, who without your support, you guys have been second to none to me. Each and every one of you has selfishly given me your time and support in discovering and capturing the capture of Gemma and planning the execution of my proposal right up to today's marriage. I love you all dearly, and there's nothing less than family. You guys are like family to me, forever and always. However, I will now go on to record the pre-mentioned statement was created before I've heard the best man's speech. Therefore, a second groom's party review is heavily anticipated. To my best men and my groomsmen.
Cheers. Love you too, boy. Thanks, Lee.
Now I imagine, though I fully expected the majority of you will have finished your beverage by now, there's a few more toasts. Therefore, I will take this time, whilst you refill, about my brand new wife. Whilst researching for my speech over the past year or so, I've come across a very accurate synopsis of Gemma and I, and it reads as follows. Why are women so beautiful? Well, that's to make us men love them. And why are they such good cooks? Well, again, that's to make us love them. But why so often do they seem so stupid? Well, that's when it all makes sense. That's so that they can love us back. Now, Gemma is renowned for a daft comment. One of my personal favourites being, Lee, look, there's a red sparrow. Whilst frantically pointing at a red kite. Or whilst pointing potentially piracy-leading hijacking of a plane, do you get pirates in the sky? And to top them all off, whilst on our trip to the Sherwood Forest, whilst travelling through a ford in the road, asking, "What the hell is that? Why are they allowed to have a river through the road?" Only to then proceed to well and truly believe Philippa Griffiths that a village has the choice whether to not to entertain the presence of a ford, to play host to a family of beavers both sides of the river. Really? I've lost my place, this is so funny. And then you have to entertain the fact of a beaver keeper to maintain the maintenance of the dams either side of the river. And not only is this a costly solution, these fantastically ditzy yet endearing moments are exactly why I fell in love with Gemma so much. Now, for those of you that don't know, or those of you who simply don't want to relive our spectacular first encounter, I would first tell a short story on how I met the love of my life. I managed to marry the most incredible woman I could ever wish for. To set the scene, it was a cold, frightful night on a Saturday, 29th of October 2011. Halloween weekend, for those who don't remember. And I was out with friends in a bar known as Anuba in the Oxford city centre, which is underneath the Bridge nightclub. Surprisingly, without my common accomplice Tav, for the first time in a long time as I can remember, which to this day, as we are agreed, and most people in this room would agree, that Gemma and I would have never have happened if his ladship hadn't been a present. As Gemma so accurately describes our common night of behaviour, heads, if he'd have been there, we'd have got drunk, got naked, and the pants down alarm would have jumped. And I'm confident that me and Gemma would never have happened.
You're welcome.
Fortunately for her, I was without my body-popping counterpart and free to focus all of my attention on the most poignant moment of my life. There in front of me, walking from the door, I instantly... I lost my place. Jeez. Where have we gone? Bloody long speech. Here we go. There in front of me, walking from the door, and instantly attracting all of my attention, was a breathtaking, beautiful brunette in a striking dress with simply divine figure of a lady, drawing me towards her, dying to know her name. The beauty opened her lips and told me her name, Rosalind. Also known as Jasmine, a geezer called Ross in a dress with stubble on his chest, no breasts, and his dulcet tones of Phil Mitchell after a 20-pack. Although deeply disappointed that Mrs. Doubtfire was not available, I picked myself up and moved on to the next. Funny shit. Who wrote this? Funny finger. Although deeply disappointed that Mrs. Doubtfire was not available, I picked myself up and moved on to the next, as right behind the Rocky Horror Show was Mrs. Boxall, the artist formerly known as Gemma Smith, in a red dress that was so insatiable, I genuinely turned to my friend, Sebastian Portman over there, and I'm going to marry that girl. Honest asking, that's exactly what I said. Verbatim, I definitely didn't say something that started with, I'm going to, and ending with that tonight. After plucking up the courage to approach the ladies, and Country File episode 12 on sex in your lifestyle, utilised. And distinguishing that her colleague was in actual fact in fancy dress for Halloween, but simply cross-dressed for the weekend without any prior warning to anyone. On the first ever social event, it's a shame that he was called Len and not working in opticians. I don't even remember writing this. That's a nickname Transition Lens. This is gold. Would have been broken. After some quick pre-qualifying with the lovely bridesmaid, Mari, followed with a torrent of abuse for sporting bros with no spots. Again, Mari, thank you. And she's up there. Which I may add is currently a fashion. I was prepared to make my move. After fighting off the competition from Zippy and Bungle from the Rainbow, I was able to escort the girls to the Bridge nightclub and spend the rest of that night getting to know Gemma and positively drowning her and her friends in vodka until 3 AM. And I'm confident that had no part to play in her positivity or attraction towards me. Next page. It's the chapter. Difficult series, after all the goodies did in 1 and 2. Late that night, after some terrible dancing and an incident with a midget in a top hat and a cane, which we won't discuss, Gemma and I stepped downstairs and outside underneath the bridge to share our first kiss, of which my beautiful wife still cannot remember to this day. Having spent my first night infatuated by this lady in red, I had lost my friends accidentally on purpose and missed my minibus home. I was left with no other option but to accept Gemma's kind offer of a place to stay on the sofa for the night. So here I am, in the back of a taxi with this beautiful girl, smile on my face from ear to ear, and the cab driver pulls upside. Littlemore Mental Health Centre. I knew she was punching, but escaping the white coats and managed to pull me while sectioned under the Mental Health Act. Now that's impressive. However, much to my relief, what I thought was a doctor in a white coat carrying a sedative was in actual fact the morning's milkman. Her apartment was no longer than an active ward but a residential development. Now, Gemma doesn't remember our first night together, but what I can tell you is I will never forget the fact that she woke up in the morning believing that I was 18 years of age, a father of 3, and my name was Tony, and I was in the cast of Towie. I know you remember. And I knew at this stage that I loved this girl, and I was going to spend the next 3 weeks making her fall in love with me before she was due to fly to Brazil for 2 weeks and return to live back up north. Lucky for you all, I was